Hey everybody, welcome back to another LEGO City update. Today we're going to be placing the Natural History Museum. So I guess the big question is where is this new modular building going to go? What would it look best beside? And should I keep the existing museum in the LEGO City, which is the Dinos Exhibition rebrickable model? There's no question about it, I really enjoy this alternate build. It's actually built using one police station and one assembly square. But it's massive, 2.5 base plates. So essentially if I get rid of it and put the Natural History Museum in the city, well, that would free up an entire base plate. One thing I know for sure is that I definitely want to change the position of Assembly Square, because it being right up against the backside of the Monster Fighters haunted house doesn't really make any sense. So just for fun, here's the Natural History Museum beside the Dinos exhibition. This thing is absolutely massive. Like, look at it compared to my Yeti coffee mug. There's no question that this is a beautiful model though. I love like the center here. It says Dinos. The roof is really cool. There's like a little bit of a skylight right there. You can see the garage door elements inside. And I just love like its symmetry and also the color combination with the sand blue, dark tan, tan. It's a beautiful model, that's for sure. With it removed from the LEGO City, it sort of opens up that whole section back there. Look, you can actually see the dungeon. And my camera can zoom right into the dungeon so you can see some of the stories. Pretty cool little Easter egg in the city. There's the king hocking a prisoner into a jail cell. That was a fun build. There's actually 3 things built into the raised platform covering now. There's 2 train stations and the dungeon right below the Lion Knight's castle. It's definitely nice seeing that dungeon, but I mean, I've got to fill those spots, right? Assembly Square does look pretty good beside the detective's office. I just think the colors work really well together. And it's interesting because even if I were to swap the positions, for example, if I were to put the detective's office on that side of the Assembly Square, the sand blue over there sort of matches this blue as well. I think these buildings just really work well together. Once again, they do block that dungeon, but you just gotta know it's there. The Monster Fighters Haunted House is just a beautiful set. It is very hard to place in a LEGO City though, just because it's a Monster Fighters Haunted House, right? Like it doesn't really blend in well with other modular buildings. Therefore, you need to give it like a lot of real estate in order for it to be like its own entity, right? I did build like this super cool graveyard. My tree has been demolished yet again. I'm thinking of redoing this just because now this takes up, 2 base plates, right? 2 base plates with the house and the graveyard. The graveyard is pretty cool. It's got some pretty neat techniques, and also I think the Rise of Voldemort set, yeah, right here. And then it was the Hidden Side graveyard. Oh look, there's Voldemort right there. But yeah, the Hidden Side graveyard set as well. It is pretty neat. I like it. I think it's a great addition to the haunted house, but it just makes it that much larger, right? The detective's office used to sit right beside the fire brigade, so that spot is now open. I'm thinking to myself, if I get rid of that graveyard, I'll be able to fit the Dinos exhibition in the haunted house in that spot. Would that look good? I don't know. So the cool thing about LEGO modular buildings is there's pretty much endless combinations in which you can put them in a LEGO City. So I decided to make some changes. I put the Parisian restaurant where the detective's office used to be. It's now beside the fire brigade and also the Triple Boutique Hotel. And then I slid over the bookshop and moved Peter Parker's apartment way back there. And that gave me room to put the museum right here. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of it there. I just don't think it looks too good beside the Sanctum Sanctorum and also beside the bookshop. It's sort of random. I feel like this is like a core modular building. I feel like it belongs with buildings like the Fire Brigade and also Town Hall. It sort of looks like Town Hall. Well, not really. It has some similarities, but you know what I mean? It sort of looks like it has that classic style and therefore belongs by maybe the Fire Brigade or Town Hall. One thing that really stands out to me in regards to these buildings is the dates on the top. For example, right here on the Town Hall, 1891, and then on the Fire Brigade, 1932. And I feel like Although it doesn't have a date, the museum sort of matches that vibe, and those buildings should be in the same proximity. I think I found the perfect position for the Natural History Museum in the Lego City, but before I place it, I need to switch up the tiles from dark gray to light gray, because I've done that with all of my modular buildings and I want it to look consistent. When I converted my city to mills, I decided to make that change. I had to order thousands of light gray tiles. Could you imagine if all of my sidewalks were dark gray? They'd sort of like match up with the roads, and I really don't think it would look too good. So what I decided to do when I made that change was actually inverted the tiles. For example, this one here, that's the Palace Cinema. These 1x tiles used to be light gray. The interior tiles used to be dark gray. And same with the corner garage. The part where the vehicles actually drive, pull up, and grab gas used to be light gray, and I inverted it. So now light gray is the sidewalk and dark gray is the road. I just think it makes more sense. So I was thinking about this building again. 2.5 base plates, are you kidding me? It is huge. There's no way I can allocate 2.5 base plates to a single modular building in my Lego City. But I really do like the design. So I was thinking maybe what I could do is just reduce the size of it. Keep the center design, keep the sand blue design, and keep the design on either side. But all I would have to do is just shrink the sand blue design on either side. And I could do that by 8 studs. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then just bring this over, and that would reduce this by 16 studs, making it 2 base plates, which I guess is still pretty big. And if I did make that change, unfortunately, I would no longer be able to fit these fossils inside. So it would no longer be a dinos exhibition. I'm not sure if it would be worth it. But hey, the exterior looks fantastic, and the interior is pretty cool as well. There actually is a way that I could reduce this building by 32 studs. I would just have to remove 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 studs from both sand blue sections. Then what I could do is use some of those additional pieces that were freed up to increase the height of the remaining sand blue section so that it matches the height of this here. Potentially add another floor and then cap that off with the same roof here, and then build a modified structure for the remaining sections of the roof. And that actually might look pretty cool. However, if I do that, it's going to consume pretty much all of the tan pieces, which I want for a different project involving my police station. I sort of want to add another floor to my modified police station, making it even larger. But I think using those parts to add an additional floor to my police station would be actually super cool. You can see the police station in its new home where I had the Natural History Museum. I think it's really neat on the end of this street. So I converted my police station into a 32 by 32 modular, and it's just massive. Its counterparts, which are the Donut Cafe and something I converted into City Press, which is a newspaper press shop, are 16 by 32 studs. The issue is City Press is pretty much taller than my police station. So if I use those parts from the Dinos exhibition to add one more floor to the police station, it would be taller than City Press and therefore would be more predominant, and I just think that makes sense. And if I were to use those parts to increase the height of my police station, I would be left over with a bunch of sand blue and sand green elements, and I could potentially use those to create another modular building for the Lego City. Or better yet, what I could do is create a mini modular building for the Winter Village. Specifically, I would look to expand the Holiday Main Street. I think it'd be super neat to have a sand blue building beside like the Olive building and Nougat building. That might look pretty neat, and it'd be a cool way to add something completely custom to my Winter Village. So I definitely have some options there. What do you think? Should I leave it as it is and put it back in the Lego City, modify it, or part it out and do what I was just discussing? All right, so you saw the new position of Peter Parker's apartment and the pizzeria. It's right back there beside the Jazz Club. Woof, 2 pizzerias side by side. The competition is real. I just realized that right now. Then we have the police station and its counterparts right there beside the bookshop. In order to fit those buildings right there, which are a total of 3 base plates, I had to move over the Daily Bugle, so it's now centered with this street here. That looks pretty cool. The Avengers Tower in the background, and we've got Spidey spinning his web there, flying through the air. I like the fact that the Daily Bugle is more predominant and centered in the street. That looks pretty neat. And then we've got the Town Hall, and I wanted the Natural History Museum to be by Town Hall and the Fire Brigade, and I was able to put it on the end of this street right there. So now we have Town Hall, the Brick Bank, the Fire Brigade, the Natural History Museum, and also the Parisian Restaurant all sort of grouped together, and I am a huge fan of that, especially considering the fact we've got the Boutique Hotel just around the corner. So everybody, there we go. We now have the Natural History Museum place in the Lego City and looking pretty sweet with all of the other modular buildings. Pretty excited about that. I've still got to decide what I'm going to do with that Dinos exhibition, but I am leaning toward the additional floor for the police station and then having excess parts to play around with. I just think that's probably the best option given the fact that I don't have a huge amount of space in the Lego City, and if I do that, it doesn't take away any space in the city. In fact, it opens up an additional base plate. So yeah, I think that's pretty sweet. Another Lego City update wrapped up. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff, and have yourselves a fantastic day. Farewell.